Sometimes there is confusion in the mind. Sometimes the mind wanders. The mind wanders in such a way that it allows you to become a more provident thinker. Sometimes the mind wanders, and it wanders in a way when you are asleep. It wanders in a way when you are awake. It wanders in a way when you are somewhere in your own little world. It wanders to those destinations. It wanders to a better place, if so the unconscious mind desires. Yet the unconscious mind is unconscious and really is not directed by the conscious mind. But however, you can learn to direct the unconscious mind by the conscious, by just reprogramming and saying things to yourself that you really want. However, the mind wanders, and it's sometimes great to wander. Sometimes it's not so great to wonder, because you are wondering about an entrapment of your own mind. But to wonder is a great thing, because you are seeking, questioning, going into memory, sometimes forgetting the memory. Sometimes it may wander to a negativistic state, and then tries to explain something to you. But one thing people don't understand is that we can learn to process what it is wandering on and develop greater pathways of development, growth and learning. So wandering is great. I would say don't worry if you wander. And sometimes you may even go into a talk and you may be listening to someone, and yet when you're listening to them, you're switched off. So most of what they've said is actually gone, because it's gone in through one ear and gone out the other, because you've been wandering and you've been in your own little world. Believe me, the mind is so powerful, the hearing is so powerful, that on the other side of the scale is you can not pay attention. However, the unconscious mind is paying attention, and it is recording all the information. When people were put under hypnosis and afterwards they were hypnotized, they could record in detail the conversations that were going on with the surgeons as they were being operated on, yet they were under anesthesia. So the mind is so powerful. Being able to wonder is great, and you should look to wonder and try to ask a question and frame it in your mind in such a way that you are looking to grow. So you may wonder and ask yourself something, or a silly question, and the question might not be so good. Therefore, point number one, learn to ask the right questions when wondering, because that's the best way to do things, to learn to ask the right questions. And sometimes it's not the question as to why. People ask why is this happening to me? Why don't I have this? Why can't I do this? Why can't I learn this? Why can't I be like them? Well, again, it's an example is that you shouldn't be asking the why. You should be asking the hows. How can you do this? How can you make a greater impact? How can you be a better communicator? So just let your mind wander, and wander in the right direction. As we've talked about the conscious and unconscious. And once you train your unconscious mind, which you can through your conscious efforts, then you can, as I would say in neurolinguistic programming, develop an unconscious competence. So really, you are greater than you are. I remember giving a talk some years ago, 15 years ago. No, actually, it's about 20 years ago. And I remember giving that talk, and the talk was supposed to have 3 law students in my classroom, and I was so intimidated. It shook my world, yet I had to ask the question and raise and change my physiology in order to be able to vocalize eloquently to that group. And it was one of the most profound experiences of my life that I never knew that I could do. So people sometimes think they cannot do things, and yet they have these abilities. The secret of not knowing is knowing that you don't know the amazing gifts that you have. secret of knowing that you don't know, that you have the abilities to wander into a marvelous secret place. And even when we think about the famous Rishi Munis, the rishis that used to meditate by the trees years ago, they developed great powers. So let your mind wander.